Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel where we review anything and everything. And today we're taking a look at a card game. This card game is called Fluxx, the card game with ever-changing rules. Now, I've actually had this game for a long time, and it just dawned on me to review it because I recently played it again. Recently, I play it almost all the time. Anytime that I make new friends or anytime that I have a friend gathering and I want to play something, I always bring this along. It's a super fun game. I kind of link it akin to Uno, but not necessarily Uno, but it's in that same vein. And I really wanted to just review this because I realized I never even thought to review this thing because I had it so long, but it's such a fun game. It's one of my favorite games. And if we talk about the games that you would take just on the run real quick and bring with you just at a spur of the moment, this is my number one game because this is obviously small, it's compact because it's just a deck of cards, but it has the excitement of it as of a higher developed game, something that's very intense, yet it's very simple. Now, this is version 3.0, and they now have version 5.0. They do also have themes of like Marvel themes, this and that, but I personally just like the regular edition because there's something about the combinations you'll see when I get into this in a moment that feel very fun and make you laugh. So the basis of the game is right here on the back of the box. And the way it works is it's very simple. You have a basic rule card that goes down on the table. And that basic rule card says, let me zoom into this better. I'm sorry, you guys. The basic rule says draw one, play one. And that's the basic rules. You start off with 3 cards, you draw one, and then you play one. The yellow cards are different rules. Certain rules will override previous rules, and then certain ones just add new rules. So the draw one will override the basic draw one. So now it's draw 4 and it'd be play 1. And you have a reverse card. You have a couple other different rules that come along with it. The action cards play instantly, and they usually have some kind of effect like everyone switch hands, or I'm gonna steal your keepers, or do something crazy. Get another turn. You're gonna have a draw pile, your discard pile, just as you see here. It says right here, these are the rules. This is your set of keepers. So your keepers are almost like prizes. When you play them, they stay right in front of you on the table, and that's kind of how you're gonna win. But those have to match the goal, and this is the goal of the game at this time because it changes. This goal right here says time is money. So it's a combination. So the reason why, once again, like I was saying, I kind of like the regular version rather than you getting some kind of themed version, is because I haven't played any of the themed versions, but I've seen online on Amazon the Marvel version, and that has team ups of superhero. But that's probably not going to sound as fun as you saying things like time is money, and you have that. Or there's another one where you get a chocolate bar and the sun symbol, and it'll say squishy chocolate, which sometimes these things are just sometimes fun to say. It's like, oh, I got squishy chocolate. So yeah, you get the idea. But we're gonna open this up and kind of really just kind of get into it a little bit. Now, like I said, they have the rules to get started, but they're very simple. And this right here shows you a whole layout of stuff, of how everything's done, just like how they showed it on the back of the box. And this gives you pretty much a rundown. Everybody starts the game with 3 cards, with a hand of 3 cards. And it says, on your turn, draw and play cards according to the current rules. It pretty much goes through all the basic stuff you see here. You could pause and read it for yourself, but essentially, I'm just gonna go through it really quickly for you guys. And just looking at the back really is all you need to know to play, but right now my basic rules are mixed in with the other rules, so normally you wanna always put that aside. Okay, I found my basic rules card, and then right here it has this also. You can pause that and read that for yourself as well. Very simple game. It tells you right here, as the basic rules, you put it down. To begin, shuffle up the deck and deal 3 cards to each player. Choose someone to go first and keep this card on the table. So that's really all you need to know when it comes to playing the game is just put down this card, read that top if you sometimes forget how many cards you start off with. Sometimes I do when I haven't played the game in a long time. And that's really it. Okay, so I did my whole shuffling and I'm gonna just do this wider angle view just so we can kind of see everything a little bit. So if, let's say, this player over here has their 3 cards, and this player over here has their 3 cards, okay? So we're gonna see all these cards in action so you can kind of see what's going on, but most of the time you would be seeing your cards and the other person would not be seeing your cards. So we're just gonna put this up here. So, and there's 2 to 6 players. I've never played this game with a whole bunch of players, but to be honest, this thing is really good for playing with a lot of players. I've only played it with 2 players before. Now, I will say the very first time I played it with more players, but since the time of me purchasing this game, I played it with just 2 players. I will say too, watch out for friends of yours who like to hold the cards real tight and almost bend them. That's a pet peeve of mine. People will be like, I'm not going to do it, but they like hold the card in their hand, they're bending it when they're holding it, and they go like, then they play it, but it's like every time you're bending the cards, you are just messing things up. So anyway, but the quality of these cards are really good. They feel like regular playing cards where they have that kind of cross threaded type of material going on is what they feel like, at least. So to a degree, not the extent of that, but you definitely could feel that it feels like that. So anyway, let's say the person on the right is going first, okay? So the first thing they're gonna do is draw a card, and then now they have to play a card. So the first card, let's say they play, is the new rules to draw 5. So to play this card, place it face up in the center of the table. This rule goes into effect as soon as you play it. Discard the previous draw rule, if any. So if there was one that said draw 2, you would get rid of it. The basic rule still stays there, but all we do is overlap it. We don't have to play it on top of it, but we just put it on the side. You understand this one now trumps the other one. It says draw 5 cards per turn. The person who played this card should immediately draw extra cards if needed so that they have drawn 5 cards this turn. So one thing you'll get used to, you won't even have to read the card after that, is understanding that if you began your turn, you drew one. Now that you put a draw 5 or anything that's higher than your draw 1, you will now, it's retroactive. So now I have to draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But because the playability was just 1, I'm not going to be able to play any more cards. But the same way works for the play aspect retroactively. If, say, I put a card down that says play 3, after I already played 1, now I would play 2 more. So we got these here, but once again, we can only play the 1. So that is all that we're going to have right now. Now this player now, the one on the left, we're going to call him player left, is going to draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But he can only play 1. But in this case, he has a play 3. So he plays 1. Now he can play 2 more because, like I said, it's retroactive. So now that overrides. So now he can play 2 more. But now what he'll do is this. Hand limit 0. This is another rule card. To play this card, place it blah blah in the middle. But okay, discard previous hand limit, if any. So that part, you never have to worry about reading the top part once you understand the basics. But reading the bottom part, just so anyone else who's not familiar understands, it's, if it isn't, I'm going to read this off camera. If it isn't your turn, you cannot hold any cards. If you have 1 or more cards in your hand, discard them immediately. During your turn, you may ignore the hand limit as long as you discard all of your cards when you end your turn. So basically what this means is that the other player, any other player, so say we're playing with a bunch of multiple players. This can be a total of 6 players. So if there's 5 other players, they all immediately discard their hands down to 0. Now, sometimes you have card limit 1, card limit 2, but this is really hurting people. Now it's going to hurt you as well, but the thing about it is you get to at least use a couple of your cards first. So since we have the play 3 and we already played 2, we played the play 3 and then we played the no hand limit. What we're going to do is now, just so you guys see how an action card works, I'm going to play this action card and then we're going to stop just because I know at this point you guys kind of get the basis of the game for the most part. Draw 2 and use them. So I will draw 2 cards and I'll use them. Draw 2 cards. Let me put this up to the camera so you guys can see it. Draw 2 cards, play them in the order you choose, then pick up your hand and continue with your play. So the reason why it says that, it says this card and all the cards played because of it are counted as a single play. So this will go into the discard pile. And the reason why it says it like pick up your old hand and continue playing is because if I played that one, but if I had more play options, I would then go back to that. So now, but also another thing to understand too, when it tells you to play them, or you have something that says play 3, and say if you only have 3 cards, whatever the case is, you have to play. You can't say I don't want to play, even if it's going to hurt you. So now the hand limit is 1. So this gets rid of that. The goal now, I have 10 cards in the hand. So now the goal, I'll put that over next to the rules. The goal now is, I'll put that on the side here, is 10 cards. Now, a lot of times, as you've seen on the example in the back of the box, it might be something related to keepers. You can also have the goal be 10 cards in your hand. That one obviously is very hard to get because if someone has a hand limit card out, that becomes a problem. But that would be the end of the turn because that would be the end of playing all 3. So at that point, I would have to get rid of everything except 1 card in the hand. I'll get rid of that. And I'll just do maybe 1 or 2 more turns. So player right will draw 5 cards. And now he can play 3. So he'll put down a keeper. And I just want to show that playing keeper. This person's hand is on the side, so I'm going to put it sideways. The keeper, I'll just move it up a little bit. This is in front of player right. Player right had put down 1 keeper now. Player left has no keepers. Now, he will change the, I'm sorry, this is the discard pile. This is the goal pile. I'll make it somewhat in between so it doesn't look like it's aligned with the discard pile. He now changed the goal to night and day, which means the player with the moon and the sun on the table win. So you see funny lines like that, night and day, you know. It just starts up conversations. Like a person might start singing that Kid Cudi song, day and night. You know what I mean? Just it's fun. Like you see things like that, or it might be like squishy chocolate or different things, or like the other box said, time is money. But like, man, time is money. You know how it is in life. But you can make a reference to life, whatever the case is. But it's fun. It gets the crowd going. You start laughing. You know, this player obviously will have 1 more play action, so he could do something like this. Each player must choose 1 card from his or her hand and give it to you. So since this person only has a keeper, I would now have their keeper in my hand. I would discard that because that once you use an action card, it gets discarded into the discard pile. And that's pretty much it. You keep going until you get the thing. But the reason why I call it Fluxx is because the rules are changing. Your keepers are changing because someone could take your keepers or whatever the case is. How I took this guy's keeper, player right took player left's keeper, or the goals are always changing. So everything's always changing. So just because you might have your hand is full of cards and the other player doesn't really have as many cards in their hand, they don't have as many keepers. So it feels like, oh, you know, I'm losing. You're not really losing, because I've seen cases where a person has everything in front of them. They got like 3 keepers. They got a bunch of cards in the hand. The other person has almost no cards in the hand. They happen to draw like a big hand where maybe you have a draw 5. They get like a turnaround. It says steal that keeper. They change the goal, and in one moment they just won. So it's a very fun game. Great, gets everyone excited. It's really good. I definitely say check it out. Link's gonna be in the description below for the basic version. You can also do a search for the different types of version if you want, but I definitely recommend it. It runs for, I want to say it runs for about $10, I'm pretty sure. So it's definitely worth it. A great party game. I feel like it's almost like, even though Uno is a classic, I feel this is like within that realm of that kind of card game, have a lot of cards in your hand, throwing a lot of cards down like Uno, but it's a step better, a little more intricate. I think it's really fun. Definitely recommend it. You guys check it out. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next video.